happy Thursday. Welcome to episode 2 of my new weekly Makelight live show. You might be watching this live or you might be watching it on recorded either on YouTube or our Facebook page, but hello wherever you are and whenever you are listening. It is really lovely to have you here. So today I am going to be here for about half an hour. I'm going to talk to you about a subject. I'm going to answer any questions that you have. So if you have any questions and you are watching this live, then please put them in underneath so I can see them. And then I will also be sharing 3 of the things that I have been loving this week. So yes, if you do have any questions, then please pop them in underneath. And if you need to go halfway through, then do not worry, as this will be recorded and uploaded live, after I've done it live, onto the Facebook page and also onto our YouTube channel. So plenty of opportunity to either watch this again or watch anything that you miss if you need to go before I finish the show. So this week we have launched the opportunity to get a monthly year of colour report. So if you got your year of colour report for 2017, you can now get one for just January, which I'm really excited about. And I have enjoyed doing my own one, and I'm really looking forward to doing my February one at the end of this month, because I am trying to just share pink images on my Emily Quinton Instagram, because it's Valentine's Day next week and I'm trying to share lots of pink throughout February. So I'm really intrigued as to what my year of colour report for February will look like. So if you haven't had a chance to pop back onto Year of Colour and have a look at your January report, then you can do that now. When you type in your username and your email, the option to do a monthly report comes up. So it gives you the option of doing a year one, a monthly one, or a range of dates of your choice. So if you haven't had a play at all of the Year of Colour, then I will share the link below after this. If you have had a go and you've got your 2017 version, then go back and try out January. Now, the reason that we created the Year of Colour was because we really want people to understand colour more, to have a greater understanding and relationship with colour, but also to really understand how that you can use your brand colours if you have a business or if you have a blog, in your social media images. So we all know that the online world is super busy. There's images flying at us all the time. And we look on our iPhones, on our iPads, on our laptops, on our desktops, wherever it is, we are bombarded by images. Now, this is wonderful and also overwhelming. And it is particularly overwhelming if you have a business and you are trying to be seen. So you are trying to get people's attention, to make people remember you, to recognize you. And colour is a way that you can really do this. So if people associate certain colours with you, it will really help them to recognise when they see your images. So whether they're seeing those images on Instagram, on your website, on Pinterest, on your blog, on any printed materials that you might have, they might see you at a trade show, they might recognise your packaging, wherever it is that they see you and your images and your brand, colour will really help them to recognise you. Now, this doesn't mean you have to stick to a tiny colour palette forevermore and only share images with that colour palette, but think about the types of colours that you are using. Are you wanting to portray lots of bright colours, or are you more muted colours? Are you more neutral colours, pastel colours? There's lots of different types of colour, and it's really important that first of all you understand the colours that are associated with your brand. And if you don't have colours that are associated with your brand, then spend some time thinking about the colours that you want to use. Not just in your logo, it's not just about a logo, it's about everything. It's about thinking about the colours that you are using on your website, in any materials that you've got, and if you have packaging, or depending on your product, depending on your service, what you're selling, and how you want people to feel when they come to your website, when they see your images, when they see your products, when they view your services, whatever it is that you are doing. How do you want people to feel? And colour can really help you to set the mood for your brand. So if you don't have a set of colours that you feel really comfortable with already, and happy with, then first job is to spend some time thinking about your brand colours and have a look at brands that you love, that you recognise, that you know their colour palette, you know the colours they're going to use, you know when their images pop up because you recognise their colours. Think about those brands and spend some time looking at what they do, looking at how they portray those colours on their website, looking at how they portray those colours on their social media, in their stores, on their packaging, all of the whole brand, how they're using colour. So think about brands that you know and love. Think about some brands that you can really associate with colour and know the colours that they are going to be using and do use, and you can predict what kind of colour palette is going to be in their next Instagram image. Think about that and think about how you could do that for your own images. How could you create that really recognisable feel and really recognisable colours, so that when people see those colours and see that colour palette, that they think of you and your brand or your blog, because that will be really, really powerful for you and really effective, and also, I think, really enjoyable for you. So I'm now going to give you a few ideas of ways that you can incorporate these colours into your images. So you've got your colours, you know what your colours are, you've thought about your colour palette, you've thought about the kind of tones that you're using and the feelings that you want those colours to portray to everybody that is viewing your images. So the next thing, it can be sometimes daunting to think, oh my gosh, I've got this really limited colour palette. Don't think about it as limited. Think about it as your colour palette and as an opportunity to have fun and to experiment with the colours that you've got. The first thing I would do is take my colours and have a look around my home and go on a bit of a prop treasure hunt, because you will be amazed at how many things you can find in drawers, on tables, on book covers, stationery cupboards that are around your house already. So thinking about the colours, maybe write down your colours, or if you have some coloured pens or pencils, or you have some paint chips, or however you want to kind of create yourself a mini colour mood board for your colours, and then take that with you around the house. Grab a box or a basket and try and gather some props that you already have. So don't think about this as needing to go and buy lots of stuff. Go on a colour treasure hunt around your home or your workplace and see what you can find. And that will be lots of fun in itself. And then you can think about taking some time to start creating images that have these colours in them. So create yourself a prop box that is your brand colour prop box, and then start to create some images from these things that you have collected. Now, you might want to go and have a shopping spree with your new colour palette, if it's a new one, or your colour palette you might think, oh, I want to add to this box, and that is totally fine. If this is a whole new thing to you and you're thinking, oh gosh, how am I going to hold these colours in my head? Will I remember? Will I need to get my phone out when I'm in the shop to look at my website or to look at my colours? I'm not sure I can manage this. Then maybe just have a little notebook, or you can get really tiny little wallets, slipcase wallets. What am I thinking that they're called? I'm not sure what they're called. The little wallets that you can slide little documents in. You can get really small ones in Muji if you have a Muji near you. And you could make that into like a little mini mood board wallet that you take with you in your bag, so that if you see some things that you think, is this going to work for me or not, you can get that out, you can have a quick look, check out the prop, see if it's going to work for you before you buy it. That will also be really helpful if you have one of these little wallets, or if you have ideas in your head, or you might want to make a Pinterest board that you can just get out on your phone. This will also help you when you are out and about looking for props. It will also help you to find scenes that will fit with your colours. So thinking about shop fronts, thinking about colourful doors, gateways, flowers that you might see in the park, shop displays, all sorts of things. You can use your same colour treasure hunting mode that you've used at home to then go on a colour treasure hunt around where you live, or if you are out and about for the day, or if you're on holiday. Great opportunities for gathering more images that have your colour palette in them. Your images that you share on social media and on your blog, your website, they don't always have to be completely directly related to your product or, very, very narrowly focused. You can also give people a sense of where you are in the world or where you're traveling to, things that you enjoy, places that you enjoy visiting. People are really, really intrigued with where you get your inspiration from. Why did you choose the colours that you chose for your brand? Because you see them in the world and people want to see the world from your point of view. So going on this colour safari, colour hunting expedition will really help you to build up a library of images that you can use that have your colour palette and have these colours that you want people to recognise as yours. So you have gone on a colour trip around your home, found lots of treasures to put in a prop box or a basket or however you want to keep them, a bag, plastic bag, if that's all you have, that's absolutely fine. Just find somewhere to gather them together. Then you've done some experimenting, taking some pictures with them. Then you've gone out maybe looking for some new props or bits and bobs that you can find. And while you've been out or separately, you are looking for your colours in the world around you. So looking in parks, in streets, on street corners, looking for old doors, looking for your colours, okay? And seeing where you can find them and building up this great bank of images that represent your brand colours so that people start to really recognise you when they see your brand and your images coming up around the place online, either on Instagram, Pinterest, on your blog, wherever it may be, that they can really start to associate you and what you do with these colours that you are sharing. Another thing you might want to do is you might want to get some backgrounds for your photographs. So if you're taking lots of flat lay style images or creating little scenes at home where you need to have a background behind you, then you might want to think about getting some backgrounds that really help you with your brand colours. It doesn't have to necessarily be in your brand colour or anything from your colour palette, but it needs to complement it. So it needs to be a background that you know that you can work really well with. And don't be afraid of using the same background time and time again. People really, really love to recognise you. And again, don't be afraid of using the same props over and over again. People love to be really familiar with you and what you do. They love to see those things coming up time and time again because they think it really helps them to feel like they know you from your images. So don't feel like you have to have loads of different backgrounds. Start with finding one background that will work really well with you for you. So you might want to get a physical piece of wood, or if you wanted to go for wood, for example, or marble, or whatever the background you might want to use. You might want an actual one, or you might want to use a vinyl backdrop, or you might want to you might want to paint something. Vinyl backdrops are great because they are really easy to just roll up and put under a bed or into a corner, and they don't take up very much space, and they're really light and easy to move around, easy to get to some good light to take your photographs. But you might also want to have, a wooden board or a table, or it just depends on what you're looking for and your budget and your space and how you work best. I really, really love to use an actual wooden board versus a vinyl backdrop version of a wooden board because I really like the feel of the board. However, I use vinyl backdrops a lot and they work really, really well. So I'm not averse to it. I can't have loads and loads of backdrops of everything I have ever wanted, and having the vinyl version is really great for having a mixture of stuff. So whatever works for you, make sure you have something that works with your brand colours, your brand colour palette that you can use as your backdrop, because that will really help. Now finally for right now, and you might have some questions and I might have some tips, but I don't want to bombard you with too much information. But finally, it's really important, if you can, to get yourself in front of the camera, because people want to see you. They want to get to know you. They want to know the person behind the brand. They don't just want the brand name. They want to have a story behind the brand. And this will really, really help you to connect with people, which is what social media is all about. After all, it's about those connections. It's about community. It's about networking, and it's about being part of something. It's not about hiding behind your images and your brand. So think about how you can get yourself out there, and think about how you can either wear colours that people will associate with your brand. This doesn't mean you have to wear these colours every day, but if you could get some images done of yourself, maybe, you could do it every season of the year. That would be great, wouldn't it? 4 times a year, you could step out in front of the camera and get some pictures of you done in colours that people associate with your brand. Or either or and as well, finding those places that have a backdrop that goes with your brand colours. So when you are going out on these colour safaris looking for, lovely old doors, shop fronts, all these inspiring colours out there, think about how you can get yourself in front of these colours. So if you know a really cute shop that really suits your style and your brand, then put on an outfit. It doesn't have to be a whole outfit. You could just think of, if it was winter, you could have a woolly hat or a little scarf, or a little bag that goes with your brand. You don't have to spend lots of money to make this happen and make this work for you. And you don't, you just go bit by bit by bit. But if you have something that's your brand colour, and then you stand in front of a lovely wall or a lovely door or some lovely flowers if it's the springtime, or if pink is in your colour palette and you can get in front of a pink blossom tree in the spring, then that would be amazing. And if you had a bit of pink on, that would be really great. And so you're getting yourself into these brand colours as well, and getting yourself into these images and really helping people to get to know you and to associate you and your brand and the colours and everything coming together even more. Okay, so there's a few ideas and some challenges for you maybe if you don't like getting in front of the camera. We've been working really hard with the Makelight members. We did it last month. We had a project all about getting in front of the camera, all about images of ourselves, either taken by ourselves or taken by friends. And I was amazed at how brave and amazing the members were. It was just brilliant. And so many more of them now have pictures of themselves out there. And if any of you are watching this, listening to this, then big well done, because it was amazing. And I hope that you've really encouraged other people to do that. So challenge yourself once a season. That's just 4 times a year. It's not too bad to try and find somewhere where you can have a picture taken that is going to help you get your brand recognized and help people to connect with you and your brand. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to look at my laptop, which is just down here, and open up this screen so I can see if any of you have been asking any questions or you have any comments. So if you have a question about any of this or anything else indeed, then just pop it below and I'll be able to answer that for you. So I'm just going to, it's a bit of a faff because the little, I have to go live before this pops up into my Facebook. So I have to kind of refresh the page and open it and go down and find the video of me. It's a little bit faffy, but I will find it in just a second and then I'll be able to see. It's harder for me to read on the iPad when you're asking questions. For some reason they don't all show up and it can be a bit of a pain. Oh, where are we? Oh, it's not showing up. So now I'm really worried that I'm in the wrong place. Come on, Facebook. Come on. I might just open a new tab. Sorry, this is so frustrating. I can see some people have written some things. Maybe I'll just have to scroll up on here. Sorry everybody. The joys of technology. Come on, Facebook. I had it all ready and opens on the right thing and now it's not working. That's so typical, isn't it? I think. Come on. I just don't know why it won't open for me. Maybe I won't be able to open it, so I'll just have to here we go. Here I am. I am on the right page. It wasn't doing its thing. Okay.
Maybe I won't be able to open
Oh, there we go. We can hear myself now. Right. Okay. So let's click on that, and then I can see if you've been asking any questions. Sorry, the joys and the downsides of technology. It's just loading. It seems to be really slow. Okay, lots of lovely hellos, which is really nice. And yes, Rachel said that it's a document wallet. So yes, the little thing that I was talking about, kind of, yes, you can get them. They're literally like the size of a phone, or even smaller than the size of a phone. And it's one of those, when you do a project at school and you slip everything into, I guess it is a document wallet, yes. You slip everything into the clear little pockets. You can get really small ones of those. I will photograph mine and show you what I mean. So there we go. Right. Just seeing if any of you have any questions. I don't think you do have any questions, but if you do, then pop them in now for me. Sometimes it doesn't always show them all, but if you do have any questions, then just pop them in. But in the next for the last few minutes, I'm just going to show you 3 things that I have been loving this week that I just really wanted to share with you. And if you have any questions while I'm talking about them, then quickly type them in and I will answer them. But if not, I can answer the questions next week. If you think of a question, then do ask me in advance or save it for next week and I can answer it then. Just one word about next week. It is half term and I am taking most of half term off. I said last week that I would report back about whether I've managed to get all my work done in advance to enable me to do that. Yes, I have, which is very exciting. This first time I have managed to get super organised in advance of half term. So this is my new way of being for 2018. So it's very exciting for both me and for my children. But I am working on Thursday. So I'm taking 4 days off with my children and working on Thursday. So I will still be here on Thursday for this at 12 o'clock. So if you think of any questions between now and then you can ask me next Thursday. So I will be here. Right, my 3 things that I have been loving this week. First one is this book. It's a brand new book by Emily Coxhead. And I'm going to be talking more about this and other things next week. This is a really cute book called Make Someone Happy and Find Your Own Happiness Along the Way. And it is full of beautiful, beautiful little, you can see little exercises that you can do, things that you can cut out or you could photocopy and give to people, things that you can surprise people with just by leaving them in public places, and basically just bringing a bit more joy and happiness to the world, which is something I'm going to be talking about next week. I'm going to be talking about the importance of being kind and lovely online, which I think some people miss out on, and I have been very shocked with our year, particularly shocked with our year of colour and the response of some people to that. But I will be sharing more about that next week and what we can do about that. And this book is just adorable, and do follow Emily Coxhead on Instagram as well, because she will just bring some amazing happy joy to your everyday. And this book is gorgeous, either for yourself or as a gift. I'm very tempted to make up a little package for next week so we can have a little competition, and I think I need a copy of this to go in it. So look out for that. So then I have this magazine. Now this won't be relevant to all of you, but if any of you have daughters or nieces or friends or friends who have daughters who are, I would say, kind of about maybe 10 plus. Our daughter is 11 and she really loves this. It's a brand new magazine for girls and it is awesome. So it's got on the front art, music, science, comics, quizzes, and there's all sorts of things inside. It's really colourful, it's inspiring, it's not full of makeup and boys, basically. It's much more empowering for girls, and it's brand new, kooky magazine. Highly recommend it. Imogen highly recommends it. Imogen's actually starting her own blog very soon, and she's starting a YouTube channel later this year. So actually I'm sure she will be talking about this herself, but big thumbs up for Kiki magazine from Imogen and me, and actually Steph found it, so yeah, good dad points there. Then I am loving this. So this is my last thing that I'm loving this week. Well, it's not my last thing that I'm loving this week, but it's the last thing I'm showing you. I am really excited about this little basket bag that I'm going to be styling with maybe even tomorrow, because I am going into town for a Makelight gathering. So if you're coming to the Makelight gathering tomorrow, then I think I'll be bringing this with me. It's a super cute bag, and let me just show you if I can. It opens up. I'm just going to try and open it up. I should have opened it up before and inside it's super cute. You could use it as your handbag. You could fit your phone, and I think you could fit your phone and your purse in there, but I am obviously going to fill this with flowers and take it on many a photo shoot this spring and summer. And that is from Zara, and it's super cute. I'm not sure if it was in the kids section or the grown-up section, but it's from Zara, and I really love this cute little bow. It just has brought a little bit of kind of spring joy into my life this week. I am so looking forward to spring. It is still too cold for my liking, and although we've had some really gorgeous sunshine this week in London, we've been really lucky with that, and you can probably feel it and see it streaming in over here, the windows over there, and it's all coming in here, and it's beautiful, but it's freezing cold, and I'm just really, really looking forward to spring. I cannot wait. So look out for this on my Instagram very soon. Because I will definitely be using that. And if you're at the Makelight gathering, coming to the Makelight gathering tomorrow, I'll bring that with me and you can have a look at it. So I'm just going to see if anyone, someone has got a question, which is brilliant. I'm going to just answer this question and then let you get on with your Thursday. So Helen has asked, is there a way to translate between the different colour reference types that you get in apps? E.g. etc. Don't know what they're called, but sometimes it's a hex code, sometimes there are numbers, and I always want to keep my colours consistent. I should have Steph here, shouldn't I? So if you don't know, my husband Steph works with me at Makelight. He only works at Makelight part-time at the moment, and he used to run a design agency, so things like hex colours are his bag. I just literally try and colour match. So Helen, I think are you talking about for like talking to a designer, or making sure your colours on your website are exactly right, or are you talking about using colours in your images? Because if you're talking about using colours in your images, I think you can be a little bit freer and go by eye. And also the thing to remember is that when you photograph something, when you photograph colours, they very often don't come out as you see them. So this will depend on the lighting, on the background, how you're editing them, your screen versus someone else's screen. So colour is very, very difficult to translate exactly. And that's where things like hex codes are really important, because if you're doing any print work, you can make sure that everything is as on your screen as is on someone else's screen, as is on a printer. But if it's for photographs, and it's photographs that are just representing your colours and representing the feel of your brand, then I would say don't get too stressed about that. Feel a lot calmer about it. Print out the colours if you can, if you've got a colour printer, or order some colour prints, and just match them up. Just try and match it and get a feel. And the more you do it, the more you will feel comfortable with your colours, and the more everything will just feel more natural for you, so you won't have to think about it. Very occasionally, I will buy something either to wear, or for the home, or for my Instagram images. Maybe I've taken a picture of something and I think I've got it right, and then I realise, oh no, it's not quite the right pink, it's not quite the right yellow, or whatever, it's not quite the right blue, I haven't quite got it. But the more that you do it, the more that it will just work for you, and you'll feel better and better about using colour. If you do have any more questions though, Helen, about that, I will copy and paste that question over into the members group, because Steph will be able to give you a little bit more about that, making sure you get the codes matching up Pantone colours, things like that. He'll be able to talk to you way more than I can about that, because as I say, he is the designer and that is his bag. So yeah, so just one more little comment. I don't think it's a question. I think it's a comment. I'm just going to read this, and then I'm going to love you and leave you to enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Yes, I wish it was spring, but for the opposite reason to you, we've just had our 4th day over 39 degrees. I'm loving starting to see tulips, etc. in my Instagram friends' feeds. Thanks for today's video. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, you know, one thing I really, really love about Instagram is that wherever you are in the world, whatever season you are in, you can find something of the opposite on Instagram. So, you know, when we are in the depths of winter, we can share the joys of summer and the joys of the summer season with Australian friends in New Zealand, things like that. And I really, really love that about Instagram. I think it's just so wonderful. We can see the whole world through images, and that is one of the things that I absolutely adore about checking in on Instagram every day. So I will leave you with that thought, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. If you have got half term next week with your children, then I really hope you enjoy it. I'll be sharing some Valentine activities and makes and crafts and things like that over on my Quinsky blog, and sharing links for you about that. And yeah, check out on Instagram. I'm sure my Instagram stories will be full of the crafts that we'll be doing over half term. And I will see you again next Thursday. So thank you so much for joining me today, and lots of love. Bye bye.